Now we are all official of the Eastern Conference Finals here. Let's walk through the remainder of the playoffs here and kind of talk it through and see how we think the finals are going to play out. So here we go. Let's start here in the Western Conference. Clippers, Suns. Well, we already got a little preview of this game, saw game one, and the Phoenix Suns win it, and I kind of loved everything I saw from that game. The Clippers kept it close because their shooting was kind of great up until that fourth quarter. Late in the fourth quarter, kind of, floundered a little bit. But we love this Suns team, and yeah, maybe no Chris Paul, but we love what Cameron Johnson can do, folks. He can truly facilitate the floor, and he can kind of do exactly what Chris Paul does. Kind of. The only reason why he only played light minutes last night was because he got into foul trouble. Five fouls pretty early on in the game. So we still believe the Suns team can definitely beat this Clippers team. The Clippers need Kawhi Leonard more than the Suns need Chris Paul, and it doesn't seem like any of those players are coming back anytime soon for this series. So I'm going to take the Suns in 6 here. I think this is going to be kind of a short series. The Clippers were kind of decently firing last night. They just kind of needed like Marcus Morris to step it up a little bit, or maybe Terrence Mann to step it up a little bit more. But I can't see this Clippers team continuing on being this good. Now, they've been great in their kind of last 2 games of that Jazz series, and they've been really solid in the Suns series, but it's still coming up just a little bit short against this Suns team. So the Suns are very deep. Cameron Johnson got into it. Dario Saric is still a threat out there. So I'm going to take the Suns. I really love what the Suns team can do. We definitely believe in Devin Booker. I mean, this man's probably... Is he the best player left in the playoffs, folks? Can we count Giannis? Giannis, Devin Booker? Do you put Paul George in that category? I don't know. I don't think so. But I would definitely say Devin Booker is probably the best player left in this playoff series. So that's what's so decent about Chris Paul still not being good to go for the Suns team, is that Chris Paul isn't their primary scorer. He's not their number 1 scoring option. Is he their number 2? Maybe. He's kind of their number 3. He's just a floor facilitator out there. But that's what Cameron Payne can do, folks. He can facilitate the floor while still putting up those points, maybe at a little bit of a better clip than Chris Paul a little bit out there. So DeAndre Ayton down low. I mean, there's nobody to really challenge him. Jay Crowder, I mean, once again, he's got great defense for whoever the Clippers have down low, whatever kind of they go, whatever Ty Lue goes with their starting lineup. So the Clippers aren't going to be able to get easy kind of down low points. They're going to have to rely on Paul George and Reggie Jackson just to kind of be great scorers, and they have been. Like I said, these last 3 games have been absolutely magnificent. Game 5 against the Jazz and game 6 against the Jazz, Paul George and Reggie Jackson have been fantastic. And in game 1 against this Suns series, they've also been very good, but it's still coming just up a little short here against this Suns team. So they're going to have to rely on, Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard and Marcus Morris, and they're not the most reliable. Terrence Mann is pretty solid, but we just saw him only take 4 shots last night. Not the greatest. So I'm going to take the Suns in 6 here. I think they can truly get it done, and the Suns are going to advance to the finals. All right, now we get the Eastern Conference. We don't have a kind of, preview, a little bit of an insight here on this series. We just get Hawks and the Bucks just kind of face the Brooklyn Nets, and the Brooklyn Nets are kind of the closest thing the Bucks can get to kind of seeing what the Hawks are going to do. And the Hawks just kind of had their best kind of true look at what the Bucks are going to do with the 76ers, because you've got like the Nets and the Hawks, they've got great outside shooting, and with the Bucks and the 76ers, they've kind of got decent outside shooting with the great beef down low, and the Hawks beat that series, kind of their kind of same thing that the Bucks are, and the Bucks beat kind of the same thing that the Hawks are. So it's really going to be real interesting to see. They both win 7 games. They both won game 7 on the road. It's like, man, oh man, this series, we just kind of saw it in the second round. So this one's going to be absolutely great to watch. This one probably goes 7. What the Hawks need to do, I mean, they just need all their scores on, man. Trae Young just let us down in game 7. Bogdanovich has been letting us down this entire series, which is definitely going to kind of be a plus for the Bucks. And then for the Bucks, I mean, Clint Capella, he was kind of, he was kind of getting beat. When we look at what Clint Capella did, and I was kind of actually surprised when I kind of had to take a double look at this, but Clint Capella was a minus on the floor of every single one of those playoff games against the 76ers. Game 1, -4. Game 2, -25. Game 3, -12. Game 4, -5. Game 5, -8, game 6, -1, and even game 7 that they won, -2, folks. So that's not the greatest thing here about Clint Capella. Now, he still is a great rebounding big and a great scoring big, so that's what he really brings to this Hawks team. But overall, he's a negative on the floor, folks. That's not great, and that's against Joel Embiid, and it's not going to get any easier with having kind of Giannis and Brook Lopez down low. So this is going to be real tough to call, but I'm going to go Bucks in 7. I think just kind of the beef is going to overwhelm this Hawks team. We saw the Hawks be real great against that Knicks series because the pressure wasn't really on the Hawks. They were still kind of favorites to win that series, even though they were the lower seed, the 5th seed there. Then when they got to the 76ers, they were still playing really good, but, the pressure, they're the 1 seed, they're expected to lose, and it went 7 games, and the outside scores were really kind of just awful altogether. And now they're to the finals. This is a very young team, and Bogdanovich hasn't been scoring well, and Trae Young just floundered in a game 7, the biggest game of his career, and he still flounders. And I don't want to diss Trae Young at all. He's probably one of my favorite young players in the league, but he kind of got bailed out, truly bailed out. And now this Bucks team, I mean, this is the only thing that they were worried about in this playoffs. If they had, they were never worried about the Heat, swept them 4-0. They would have never been worried about the Knicks if they got here to the finals, Eastern Conference Finals. They would have never been worried about the Wizards if they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They maybe been a little bit worried about against the 76ers if they made it. And then the Hawks are like, oh, this is kind of the best outcome, honestly, out of kind of what we could have gotten. We could have gotten the 76ers. That's kind of what we were kind of planning on. And now we don't have to face that great beef down low, Joel Embiid. All right, now we're kind of great. And then they got all that momentum of beating the Nets, the star-studded Nets who everybody had winning the finals and this and that. So I'm going to go the Bucks in 7 here. Giannis has to keep getting it done. And, the length of, Kevin Durant down low and the Blake Griffin playing great. And that's kind of giving me a little hesitant. I'm taking the Bucks as well because Blake Griffin was locking up Giannis a little bit. And now if you put Clint Capella on him, how's he going to look? So this is going to be a real great series here. Bucks are going to have the home court advantage, and the Hawks are going to have to rely on their outside shooting, and I don't know if they can. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it done in this 7-game series. So I'm going to take the Bucks in 7 over the Hawks here and have the Bucks and the Suns go to the finals. And then I want to see this Bucks team win. That's our early prediction, so I guess I don't want to flounder or just kind of waver too much off of that. But, this Suns team, they're the perfect kryptonite to handle this Bucks team. You got DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder down low. That's going to lock up Giannis 100%, folks, 100%. Jokic just won MVP as a big, and he got locked up by DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder. And Jay Crowder's great 4 in this league. And then you've got the outside shooting of Cameron Payne and McCall Bridges, and Jay Crowder's even got the outside shooting as well. So I think the Bucks, I don't want to. They're my early prediction, and they're still in it, man. And we had the upset of Bucks over Nets in that original prediction, so I don't want to stray too far away from that. But the way the Suns are playing, folks, is absolutely fantastic. And if they have Chris Paul back for that series against the Bucks, it's going to be real freaking tight. It's going to be real tight. So, Bucks, Suns in the finals. I'm going to have the Bucks winning in 7, but it's going to be gosh darn close, folks. So, we're going to have the Suns beating the Clippers in 6. We've got the Bucks beating the Hawks in 7, and then the Bucks beating the Suns in 7 as well.